Hi everyone, it's Kimberly and I am going live. Yay! I haven't done this in a while. I hope you guys can hear me good. I have the chat on, but as you guys know, if you've watched me before, I'm a retard with these live sessions. So please bear with me and be patient. So I'm not going to pull a spread, but we're going to ask questions. You guys can ask me your questions. We're going to ask about the current energies. We're going to check in on the divine feminine, divine masculine in the collective. What do we need to know right now for this new moon in Aries? What are the sort of overarching themes, undertones, and also like the messages for each of the feminine and masculine, okay? So let's see. Before I get to that, I'm gonna shuffle. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got about 7 decks here that I'm gonna kind of rotate around as we pull messages. So I want to tell you that April is here. We are in April, you guys. Hi, good morning. We have that April special is up. I don't know if you guys heard at the end of my last video, I'm doing twin flame guidance sessions 10% off. So when you book on my website, you just enter the code April 10, all caps, April 10. And that's going to be on twin flame guidance sessions. You can check out what those are on spiritualmaterialgirl.com. And I have just made the big announcement about SMG Summer Camp, which is basically Ascension School plus so much more. You guys, you have to check it out. It's going to be basically where I'm guiding you through a 12-week transformation, and it's way more than just like Ascension School. You're going to get all the tools for your healing and ascension and integration and claiming your power, coming into alignment, healing the root stuff. But then above and beyond that, you're going to learn how to support your ascension through living a healthy lifestyle. How do you support the empowerment through, solar plexus work and chakra work, recipes, healthy living. I'm going to be giving you weekly activities and just make this program chock full of basically tools for you to understand and like integrate your whole world, not just this tiny piece, not just like the pieces related to your twin flame or the piece that you do behind the scenes. We're talking like, how do you live your life as a high vibrational being, like in all areas, food, nutrition, health, healing, integration, energy work. And you're going to receive videos, tips, tools, workouts, recipes. You're going to receive all the healing and online courses. So 12 weeks of that, you get to work with me one-on-one every single week for 12 weeks. And it's literally SMG Summer Camp. So time to integrate your world. Hope you guys come check that out. It's all the details are on my website, or reach out if you have questions. So if you're just chiming in, I'm doing a live reading for the new moon in Aries. We are not going to pull a full spread here. So if you have questions, you want to post your questions, you want me to pull for certain questions that you have that are non-specific to you, but just energies in general, let me know. You can type your questions now. I'm looking at the chat as we go. So we're going to pull right now from the tarot deck from Rider-Waite Tarot. And the first message that pops out for us is the Death card. Hi, Joy. Oh, friends, so much purging. What is the energies for the collective now? This is your answer, Joy. Hello, Blue Butterfly. Thank you. Look what's coming out, Joy. This is what it feels like, is like really leaving the past in the past. It's not an untimely death is what they're saying. So Spirit's telling me this is not an untimely death. This is not like a sudden death. This has been a slow death. This is like a slow death where the old piece of ourself is dying, that old programming, those old pieces of ourselves. This is also for some of you that you are finally taking the steps to leave some things behind. And I really get more than anything that it's not an untimely death. And I don't know, they're showing me that like, you've been planning for this. Joy, yes, it's sloughing off, but since yesterday, wow, yeah. So this is the thing, is that I feel like what it's saying is like, allow it to die, allow it to be laid to rest, whatever that is. If it's that piece of your life, if it's that piece of your programming, if it's that you know, for me, there's something in a business sense that's not working right now in another area of my life. And I feel that. I was just asking myself, I'm like, why does it feel like there's an ending coming here? And I feel it. It's just like this business thing that I need to let go of. And what is it for you? What might be coming to an end right now that you can release so that you can open the space to manifest the new? I really get that more than anything, this is about going towards the new life. I feel, you know, like you're going towards the new life. You're going towards the fulfillment of your happiness and your dreams. And in order to do that, there's some things, as we typically see in purging, that we need to leave behind, okay? This is also about leaving the ways that others have hurt us and maybe perhaps injured us, leaving that behind so that we can fully heal and integrate now. And I feel like many of you are kind of at that place now. Hi, Katie. But I feel like that there's definitely, like, for some of you, there's pieces that you're still kind of hanging on to. Maybe you're just hanging on to it through a line of fear attachment. So this means, remember that if you have resentment, it's keeping the cord of energy alive. If you have anger towards someone or some situation, I'm seeing this big dark black mark here on my face. If you have anger or resentment towards someone, you're keeping the attachment there. So what would it take to release that attachment? What level of anger or fear are you holding on to that's keeping that attachment alive, that's keeping you from bringing your energy all the way into yourself in alignment with yourself? So ask yourself that, and then ask what's underneath that. Because whenever we feel angry, we have felt powerless in the past, right? Whenever we feel resentful, there's something that hasn't been like fully communicated that's needing to be, you know, probably articulated, or that we need to go back and relook at, like our value system, or like where we didn't speak our truth, or where we didn't set proper boundaries. And because all that is like fear that it's going to happen again, fear that we're going to be powerless again, fear that we're going to get taken advantage of again, right? And that's all that is. So how can you come into alignment with yourself to get into your power, to release those lines of negative energy? Because that's really important. Those pieces of energy keep us attached to that person, that situation, anything that was in the past. Remember, this feels like the death of something in the past, something that needs to be in the past, or that you need to put in the past and just let it go and just look in the new direction, okay? So Spirit also wants us to know, this is, look what's coming up, okay? So Eight of Swords in reverse is saying this is where we've had our blinders on a bit, right? But see, where we're moving forward now, this is where we're taking off the blinders, especially with what's under the surface, I get. So this could be with as deep as your core wounds. It could be, you know, like core wounding stuff that we haven't seen, things that we need to look at within ourselves, but it definitely feels like it's related to what I was just talking about, which is, you know, these resentments of the past, these things, maybe where we're looking at it like, or been looking at it like we're the victim, or it's the other person's fault. But for as long as we keep these blinders on, you see how she's all tied up in the middle here? That bandage like around your solar plexus, or that indication of, you notice it's not, we don't just see her blinded in the eyes, we see this complete imprisonment of the solar plexus. So what is that saying? That's saying that the solar plexus is, you know, she's not in her center. Not only can she not see clearly, but she's not centered through here. This is imprisoned. And when you're imprisoned around your solar plexus, you can't be owning your power. And remember, the knowing, they're saying the knowing is in our gut. We do know, but a lot of this falls back onto us. And they're asking us to look below the surface and ask at this time, whatever it is that's the gripe, the resentment, the anger, the fear, what is below that, and how can we do a better job at coming back into our power center? Was it that we didn't set the healthy boundary? Like I said, was it that we, need to look within to heal this in some way, so that as we move into the new life, this new future, this literally goes behind us, right? It's not in front of us, it goes behind us. And again, you guys, I think my camera flips and I don't know how you guys are seeing it, but I'm putting her behind the horse because we see him moving forward, okay? He's moving forward, and this is also a coming all the way to yourself, coming out of that where we've been short-sighted, maybe thinking it's the other person, maybe afraid that it's going to happen again to us, or that the past is going to dictate the future. Remember I told you guys in the last reading I had, it's 11:11 by the way here on the East Coast. I see it on my kitchen clock. I just see 1111. It's really far away, but it's like glowing at me right now. Happy 11:11. So, but one of the things that I'm about to say right now at this 11:11 time on the clock is that Mother Mary wanted us to know, and she came through my meditation last week, the past is the past. It does not dictate the future or the current moment unless we allow it to. But is there processing of the past that we need to do? Yes, absolutely. We need to process the why, what's under the surface. I feel guided to pull a clarifier on that. So we're going to go to this deck and we're going to pull Wisdom of Oracle. How do we get clarification under the surface for ourselves? What is it that we need to dig into at this time? So they're saying the fates, leave it to the fates. So here's the thing. That's where it's telling us we have done too much mental thinking, where we're trying to control the situation. And, this mental thinking and this sort of trying to control it, trying to keep the fear out or keep the hurt out or trying to stop that from hurting again, it's only kept us bandaged up. The truth is that when we're in our power center and connected to that and living life like very guided and fluidly, we can allow the fates to sort of rise up and meet us, and we can allow the stars to align for us. We can allow all of that in. And I really feel like, you guys, I've been saying June, July, there's anchoring in of 5D timelines. Like, this is when fate's going to step in. We have already had some serendipitous things coming in for us. March, and even through this month, you'll see that. Things starting to line up for certain ways and realizations of things we need to leave behind. But definitely we're moving forward here. Okay, so look and see what do we need to take off the blinders about, especially where we can own responsibility and get some surface under some answers under the surface. They're saying building blocks. So building blocks that's our foundation, okay? That is our foundation. And Courtney, you're saying 747-848. Well, this is 28, and this is a 10. And 10 is 1 and 10 is completion, right? So how do we create this new life? It's by going back to the building blocks, to the foundation, okay? So to build a firm foundation, what do we need? What do you guys need? What do you guys need to build a firm foundation? Does anyone know? Well, to build a firm foundation, you must first be in alignment with yourself. The problem is that we start trying to build our foundations. Trust, that's a good one. My inner knowing, joy, yeah, that's it. Muddy Danielle says, too funny. Well, the money and the abundance is going to come when you get your energy all the way aligned with yourself. And someone asked me on the comments from the last video, they asked, they said, what does it mean to come home to yourself? And I'm saying that in a way that what I mean is that you're not aligning your energy with anyone else, any outside force, outside attachment. You're aligning it with yourself. And we do this very subconsciously. We do it very unknowingly. We do it through fear. So what do I mean? I mean, like hanging on to the attachment with the twin, putting our energy and focus outside of ourselves, trying to control a situation, codependent behaviors, things that keep us in like these loop cycles, the loop thinking, the addiction to the overthinking, the logical thinking. That keeps us out of alignment energetically with coming all the way into ourselves, because it keeps our attachment outside of ourselves or up here. And we want all of our energy in alignment through our solar plexus, through our gut, and right here centered. So you really have to be honest with yourself, right? Like, where have I maybe been putting my energy places that I don't need to be? Where have I been in addictive cycles, codependent behaviors? Where have I been, not being honest with myself about this? Where do I feel a void or emptiness that I'm not like really wanting to face? How can I come fully home to myself? I've really been doing this work as of recently, and even though I thought I was all the way in alignment with myself before, I wasn't. And I've been needing to release every single solitary attachment that I have. And also the things that were not serving me. And I've had to look at my bullshit excuses. I've had to look at the things that were keeping me from that. And I was close before, but now that I'm in it and really aligned, I mean, I'll tell you guys, like, it's like a world of difference. This is when things really start to happen, when you're all the way in alignment with yourself. One thing I can say is that that's a big thing that's coming up right now, is the excuses that are blocking us. That I've been getting through spirit. I used to really have a big hang up with the word goals. And the reason why is because at some point in my own wounding, I imprisoned myself because I wasn't receiving the love that I needed or the unconditional support. And I put myself in a very structured, let's say, like, box. I imprisoned myself, I pressured myself, I put a lot of pressure on myself. I was basically developing a sense of self-worth through like what I did and how perfect everything was and all of that. So of course, years later from that, I rebelled. I rebelled to anything that was institutional, anything that had structure, anything, I didn't want anything that put that pressure on me or anything that held me into a box, right? So, and I struggled with that freedom, like wanting the freedom and then not, feeling imprisoned, not, blah, 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 blah. So, but then as I grew and learned how to balance this, it became like this new feeling energetically. And it's never about stopping myself from doing anything. I do know I don't like rigid structure, but I also can have structure without feeling imprisoned now, so that's great. But I still found that I shied away from the word goals. And you guys, this is a time of goal setting, I feel. And the reason why is because they keep showing me the words rapid transformation between now and August. This is both for the masculine and both for the feminine. And by the way, the messages that I just pulled were for both. In some way, it resonates for both the masculine and feminine right now. And when we are able to allow ourselves to set goals, we can see actually where our stops are, where our blocks are. And those are only from our mental mind. They only spawn of our fears, right? Only our fears block us. So ask yourself, where have I been in my way? What is it? Not that I want to achieve, because I truly believe that everything is just enjoying the process of doing things, falling in love with the process of getting healthy, falling in love with the process of separation from your twin, falling in love with the process of getting to know yourself, falling in love with the process of alignment with yourself. So, but in that, you can still have goals. And these goals, I feel like, should be oriented towards your transformation. So what do you want to transform between now and August in your life? Is it, Danielle, greater abundance? Is it that project you've been working on? Because I know you have. Is it that, bringing that to fruition? Well, have that in mind, but then fall in love with the process of coming all the way into yourself. Your job, okay, great. So that's the thing, is like we've got to look very clearly now at like where we're blocking ourselves. And it's a lot simpler to manifest what you want than you think. And it's not about telling ourselves not to do something. And it's not about willing ourselves towards the goal. It's more about falling in love with the process of where we're at, and also removing some of those fear blocks so it can open the space for the new to come into our life. And we can call it in with a clearer vibration. Does that make sense? So that fate can come in and meet us. All right? So I really feel like when they're talking about this firm foundation, these building blocks, this is about building from trust. This is about building from trust. And one of you said that in the comments. You need to build from a state of trust rather than fear. I mean, that's everything. So we've got to look at what fear is holding us back. Let's talk about, Danielle said money. Well, money, it's always with abundance, with those blocks, there's always fear blocks in there. It's always fear. So get to know what that is for you. What's the underlying belief that's caught in there? There's a fear-based belief in there somewhere, and it's holding you back, okay? So here we have yin in reverse, right? So this is saying building blocks. We have a 2 card. This is about our harnessing our feminine energy with in regards to how we manifest. So that's from our knowing. That's from a state of trust and openness, receptivity. We can't be receptive when we have all these blocks established, right? When there's all these blocks, like they're showing it to me, like, you know, when you're on a road that has construction and you see those like cement blocks that are kind of blocking things, or barricades, that's what they're showing to me, but they're like all unevenly placed. So it's like you might be going along good for a while, but then you hit the block, or you hit that thing that won't let you go any further, right? And they're saying like those are really just an illusion. They're created from fear. They really don't exist. And when you start creating from your feminine energy, for both the masculine and feminine, you are going to see how amazing you are. But we must come out of fear. Okay? Let's keep going with the tarot messages. Just overall messages for new moon in Aries. So we have Knight of Pentacles, and this again is this moving in this direction, which is forward. And this is also saying like, okay, this is that new beginning. This is that, you know, where we're starting to feel like the power is in our hands, right? This is like that manifestation, that early beginning of it. There's still more to go. There's still a journey. There's still further to travel along this road to create this new life, but this is you doing it. And this is also, I feel like, when you're feeling like, well, how is it going to happen? How am I going to, Danielle, switch jobs, right? You guys might have that question. How am I going to get from A to Z? And they're saying baby steps. It takes baby steps. You can't mature into the king or the queen overnight. You must become the knight first. You must become the page first, right? And so to go from page to knight to queen and so on and so forth, to high priestess, to empress, you must graduate. And the graduation only happens through us taking baby steps. So if you want to know the how is in the self-discovery. The how is getting back in alignment with yourself. So much happens. It's much less about how do I do that? How do I align with myself? It's much more about letting the fear dissolve, getting to the truth of that. Because once it dissolves, all the truth can come into you. Then you can align with that truth of your soul. Then you can rediscover yourself. And that's baby steps. And those baby steps, they add up quick. And that's how you graduate. And that's how you graduate on the ascension rung, on the ascension ladder, and on this journey, this twin flame journey, okay? All right, let's look at bottom of this deck. Oops, sorry guys. Okay, and here we have, look at this. This is the graduation. This is the graduation, okay? So we've got Nine of Pentacles, and this is like that feminine energy who is very confident manifester, okay? Notice we see this now transforming into, you know, great abundance, confidence, harnessing the divine feminine energy. This is what's ahead for us, and we need this yin energy to be corrected. And how do we correct it? We must come into trust. We must really get truthful about the fear that's holding us back. To build from our intuition, to build from our gut, to build from that solar plexus that we have been inhibiting or have been blinded. We've had our blinders on, not just in our eyes, but around our solar plexus. It's been kind of squeezed. It's kind of been imprisoned. We're not listening to it. We're not trusting it. And that's where we need to go. That's where we need to center. Solar plexus is the focus for the next like 5-6 months. It should be your focus. Getting centered in your solar plexus, trusting your gut. For me, you guys know with the celery juice that I've been doing, if you've been following me, I'm healing my gut, right? So it all goes hand in hand. It's not like when I talked to you about summer camp and how there's going to be exercises and recipes, this is all integrative. It's not like you just do your healing work. You don't just go in and do your child core wounding and say, okay, now I know why I've been out of my power. Now I'm going to practice alignment. There's other ways that you can support it too in all areas of your life, okay? So it could be Pilates, doing core work, right? In your center. It could be, you know, solar plexus chakra meditations. This could be wearing the color yellow. It could be, it can be on all levels, okay? We need to start thinking of it more holistically. Our healing, our alignment more holistically. It's gonna help everything in this journey for you guys. It cannot just be one-dimensional anymore. The guides, the higher beings have been showing me that, and they keep asking me to drive that message out, okay? So let's pull specifically now. We're going to go to Oracle decks, and we're going to pull specifically for masculine and feminine energies at this time, new moon in Aries. Thank you guys for joining me. You can type your questions, and I'll try to catch them. Sometimes they scroll up quick while I'm talking, and I miss them. I will try to address whoever I see, though, in passing. Let's ask about, I'm just shuffling here a few of the decks. Sorry, I keep dropping things. Hi, Estrella, beautiful name, love it. Let's ask for feminine first. Okay, so feminine, new moon in Aries. What are we walking away from? What are we turning to? What do we need to know from our guides right now? From the higher beings and from our guides. Whoops, we've got 2 cards stuck together. We're not going to put that back as a mistake. Okay, so we've got, whoops, we've got deceit and we have new life. Okay, so this is where, again, where maybe we are being deceived or there's some sort of deceit that's going on. Maybe it's a low-level disloyalty or a low-level deceit, but nevertheless, it's still happening. This is where you need to go back to your value system and say, hey, is this the type of relationship, whether it be business, personal, familial, that I want to be perpetuating in my life, if there's any level of deceit? But this could also be where we're deceiving ourselves, where we're telling ourselves, no, it's fine, no, it's okay, just because we don't want to look at the things that scare us. And this is, they're saying we must remove those blocks before we can step into that new life. And look at the tulips. That's April, right? Easter, April, that we have the opportunity to do this and really birth something new. A new creative project, a new life, a new landscape is what I've been saying. That word landscape has been on the forefront for a long time. So this is divine feminine. Look around in your life. What's not true? What's not authentic? What's not aligning with your values? Where do you have your blinders on? Where are you not seeing things clearly? Where are you, sorry guys, where are you deceiving yourself? And ask those questions, okay? So this is the new life opportunity that we have for us. Divine Mother is creating, the Divine Mother. This is about divine feminine energy. This fearful energy, or this where we have our blinders on, no more. This is about taking our blinders on and stepping into our full wisdom, our full knowing. You guys are wise beyond your years. You're old souls. You're amazing. You're here to pioneer. You have so much power, so much life, and so much light to give to the collective. So being held back by this, where we're deceiving ourselves, not being truthful, or where others are not being fully truthful to us or not lining up with our values, that's just sort of wasting your time. Yeah, and I'm just reading a little bit. Okay, I'm reading a little bit from the comments, but I'm going to keep going with this. So let's look in on divine masculine energies. Okay, so I'm going to reshuffle here. So divine masculine, what does he need to know about moving forward at this time? About these, you know, intentions that he's setting for the new direction or the next step of his evolution? What does he need to know? Oops. Oh my God. You guys can't, I rarely put the cards back into the deck and reshuffle, but something told me to. I'm like blown away. Wait till you guys see what came up. Okay, so they're saying the divine masculine, you're working on the same thing. You're working on harnessing, yeah, I love it. You're working on harnessing your divine feminine energy to create this new life. So the thing about this, and I have goosebumps all over my body right now, is that the divine feminine and the divine masculine are finally heading in the same direction. And there is something that they want to create that feels really good, that feels really green, that feels really in bloom. And we're feeling it. And it's not just the manifestation, it's this feeling of love. It's, the card says new life, so it's divine mother. It's the same card that came up for the feminine. So again, this is like that we are moving in the same direction. We're heading towards a new landscape, that we're creating a new life. And this is one where the old programming dies, where the fear within us can be dissolved and left behind, where we can come into our divine feminine power and start manifesting our new life in a different way, okay? So this is something that masculine is dealing with. So they're saying competition and warrior guides. So the competition is, this is like where the bravado is with him, with the masculine. Like fear of like, well, if I change my path or get on my truest path, that I will, sorry, this is masculine talking, that I will not be able to maintain my sense of masculine. There's that fear there. But the thing about it is that for many of the masculine, it's been a false sense of masculine, where it has been more bravado, where it has been more about, you know, winning or fronting, or it hasn't been a real authentic sense of masculine. And what the masculine's working on right now is balancing his feminine energies to create in a new way, and trusting and not and letting that false bravado just drop. It's not caring what the others think. It's not competing. It's not vying. It's not trying to be the best. But I also, what they're showing me is like there's this fear around like the type, they're saying, okay. They're saying the typecasting. Like, okay, so like when we grow up, we learn like, okay, the masculine roles is like, you know, be a policeman, a firefighter, go and, you know, be the guard, the guardian, or the bodyguard, or the protector, or you have to be in that corporate job for the rest of your life so you can provide for your family. And like that stuff, that like how the masculine has been typecast, because I feel like a lot of the masculine want to move into a more watery career setting, and they want to move into like more watery energy, more creativity, more spirituality, like where maybe they're doing something that doesn't fit that programming and is much more feminine, of a feminine nature. And they're worried about, okay, well, will I be able to provide in that way if I take down that programming, if I don't follow that suit? And it's like this whole restructuring of like what the divine masculine thought like masculine was, or masculine needs to be. And it's not saying that those professions are not good or worthy. It's just that some of the masculine took on those roles or took on those professions because it's what they assumed that they needed to do to be masculine. Okay, so they're saying that bravado is dropping now. And now they're saying, okay, it's safe for me to not only move into something that maybe I don't know if the security is there, or it may not look so masculine outwardly, but I'm confident within myself that I don't have to compete with other people or succumb to that programming to be able to live my fullest life and to be abundant. And that's something he's working on over the next several months. I mean, really, with any changes he's making, I feel like, especially on the career front, that's an important one, okay? They're just telling me to pull more cards for the masculine. So, victory, which is coming up in reverse. So he's doubting that he can be successful. Divine helpers, they're saying masculine, you have divine helpers that are coming in for you as you believe in yourself and you take this new course and you break out of this programming and you go that way that your soul is calling you to, that may feel more authentic to you than the path that you've been on. And you're going to be victorious. So don't doubt that. There's going to be help. There's abundance. There's stars aligning. There's people coming in to help you bring your dreams and goals to fulfillment. I think really there's a lot of confidence that's lacking for the masculine in making those changes and being afraid. Like, how will I make this work? And that's where he's going to have to really harness this divine feminine energy, right? Trusting, knowing, open to receiving. You know, you see this person, the soul in the middle, is holding flowers. There's the sense of support, and someone wrote that a few comments ago, like that we're needing to lean on each other, support one another. I know when I have divine masculine come to me for like soul coaching sessions or private sessions or readings, like I'm really seeing this evolution in the masculine. I'm really seeing a lot of awakening masculine energy step forth. So it's great. And remember, feminine, this is for you too. This is for the masculine within you that might hold these fears as well, or where your masculine side might be dominating you with this type of fear, where you might be more action oriented rather than really trusting on that intuitive knowing and allowing things to come to you, right? So let's go into, I'm going to open it up to you guys. Let's find out what questions you guys have for New Moon Aries. Ask collective questions, because I'm not going to go into personal questions for you, but we're pulling collective energies. Let me know what you want me to pull. We're going to pull from the Clarifier deck. This is my friend Christina Georgieva, Lil Wanderer. You can go to lilwanderer.com. Love my little deck here. We'll pull from here. We'll also ask the archangels, since they've been around me a lot lately trying to get messages through to us. So I know there's a little delay here, so I'll just keep shuffling until you guys send some questions. What do you guys want to know about the current energies and what we need to do? Thanks. Thanks, Christina. There you are. What do you guys want to know about current energies, what we need to do during this new moon in Aries? Well, let's ask, while I wait for some of your questions, let's ask, what intentions do the masculine and the feminine need to be setting at this time? So let's talk about intention setting, whether you want to look at it as goal setting, intention setting. What's our intentions that we need to be writing down, dreaming of, visualizing right now, and thinking of at this time, okay? So Joy wants to know about masculine awareness of the divine connection. Okay, so we'll ask about that after, Joy. I promise we'll get to that, okay? So setting intentions right now for, I'm going to pull masculine, feminine, okay? Okay, so masculine is truth. Oh, good. You can see this font better when I'm in better light. Okay, so truth is what they're asking you to set the intention for truth. So that is clarity. That is your deep knowing. Put that intention out there. Show me the truth. This is the intention of like, I'm going to listen to the truth of my soul. This is about writing your truth down and then having the confidence to ask for it, to ask for what you truly desire, regardless of how you think it should be or how it's been or what you think the blocks or parameters are. It's about having the confidence to ask for your truth now and to come into contact with what that truth is. And also saying, deliver me the truth. Deliver me the guidance for my highest good. Okay? And for the feminine, this is around healing. So setting intentions around healing right now, and this is shadow work and inner child work. I know because I'm actually holding an intensive program right now, and I've got a whole group of people that are doing this work, and I'm seeing what's coming up, and I've just recently did a whole nother layer of this work as well. If anyone needs help with that, you can come to soul coaching with me, or we'll also be doing it in the summer camp program. But this is what the intention is right now, is maybe some of that purging that you guys were talking about is just further or deeper level shadow work, inner child work. Setting the intention for maybe the things that have been blocked for you are going to come up at this time. I feel this Aries new moon being one that's going to set us in motion. There's going to be action that comes from it. So anything that's stagnating us, anything that's been blocking us from moving forward, moving in that direction of the new life is going to come to the surface. So, and I feel this new moon being very white, illuminating light. So less yellow, more white light. They're saying it's safe for you to see the truth. It's safe for you to bring this all up because it's just going to be the thing that sets us free. Okay. Okay. So now Joy, you asked about I think it was Joy. Sorry. You asked about masculine's knowing of the divine connection. Yeah, well, without even having to pull cards, I can already tell you that. Masculines know first. They know before the feminine knows. And it's pretty much across the board. And I channeled this years ago, and I just still feel it holds true. Our masculine always knows the connection before even the feminine. However, it's not a real conscious knowing. They're not going, oh, I'm a twin flame necessarily. Let me, it's much more of like a higher level knowing, a feeling, something intangible. There's a deep, deep knowing. So it is covered up a bit. Whereas with the feminine, it's like this, like, oh my God, twin flame, how did I stumble upon this concept? Oh, that's what it is. And then you go, poof, like you thrust into it, right? So, but for the masculine, it's a little bit less conscious. Now, what's happening and what I've been talking about is masculine is about to go into his conscious awakening. We have not seen this yet from the masculine energy in the collective. Not for the 3 years that I've been on the scene, we haven't. And I'm pretty sure not before that. So we're going to see, gosh, they're showing me 60-80% of the masculine in the collective going into a conscious awakening, like the one that you had or are having, where, yeah, they get very aware of what the connection is and start doing their work and looking at themselves in a new way, much more consciously, rather than learning through karmic lessons, which is how the masculine has been learning to this point. It's either like he's had like really prolific downloads that resonate for him from time to time, but most of it has been through learning karmic lessons, whereas the feminine, for the most part, goes more consciously to her healing, okay? But I'm going to pull cards around that just to support this. We'll pull from the Angel Therapy deck, we'll pull from the Ascended Masters deck, and we'll pull from the Archangels deck. So I'll pull one card from each to support this divine masculine knowing first, divine masculine going into a deeper consciousness over the next few months. What did I say? We've got a white light. It feels like a protective light. It's safe to bring everything to the surface, step into our truth. They're saying masculine, you can do it. Who's here? Archangel Michael. Yeah, they're seeing like he's going to do it. He's going to do it. And he is moving forward into his truth. This sword is, I feel like it's representing that cutting through, the cutting through what was inauthentic, the cutting through what felt not safe for us to step into, and especially where the masculine is moving forward. It feels safe to move forward into his full truth. Okay, Okay, so this is where he's clearing throat chakra blockages. This is now about where he's going to be a little bit more vocal about this evolution, this transformation, where he's going to be speaking more of his truth, where he's going to go to the feminine and speak his truth. But more than anything, he's recognizing the truth from within during this process so that he can articulate his truth in the 3D and anchor in what he desires. Remember that whole message that I got about soliloquy, you know, and someone corrected me and they were like, it's not where the person's talking to the audience, but it's where, but in any case, you're asking out loud. And the definition is asking out loud regardless of who's hearing. This is where the masculine's owning his truth, and he's declaring it. He's asking for what he wants regardless of judgment, regardless of fear, regardless of anything. So this, we're going to see this evolution is starting now. It's starting now. But it's going all the way through August is what they've shown me. Okay, so let's pull from archangels. What do the archangels have to say to us? To the masculine divine order. This is about the masculine trusting in the divine order of things. And it's about you trusting too, like allowing the masculine to go through this process and to just allow things to play out without forcing it. Archangel Raguel says, everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and see underlying order. So this is where we're getting that the masculine is going to rise above the 3D illusion and constraints and really see that higher perspective and get the connection. There it is. And feminine who are watching, it's your job to trust and to allow, right? Yeah, the 3D is pretty much and it's a bit of an illusion, but it's also the manifestation of our fears. So once you start really clearing that fear out, you can live in the 3D and have it be a utopia. Really. This is like you can manifest your dreams and live that life. You got to clear out the fear, the underlying fear, okay? So I'm going to head towards closing this up, but I still want to keep it open for whatever comments that you have while I clean up the cards here. Anything else that anyone wants to add? I will go back and read your comments. I'm sorry if I missed them as I was pulling cards or talking. Thank you guys for joining. I so appreciate it. I'm wishing you a happy new moon. This is a vibrant one. We're going to have some, you know, the other thing too is that this divine order, where did it go? Divine order, you could see Archangel Raguel with the scales of balance. If you scroll back or when you watch this on the replay, he had the scales of balance. And you know, this is going to be a month, a little bit of duality, because we have now this new moon in Aries pushing us forward. And then we have this a second full moon in Libra, which is going to be highlighting that balance. And and then we're going to move into this Taurus energy. Oh, that's okay, Edie. Don't worry. I got it. It's all good. It's all good. You were right. And I think I get so excited about the higher level messages that I screw up the like literal stuff. So anyhow, thank you for the correction. And but you guys, like when we move into this Taurus energy in May, it's going to be all about like getting grounded and finding, you know, like this newfound acclimation in that direction that we're headed, in that new landscape that we're creating. So right now it's like really about like stuff surfacing to just, you know, clear it out of the way so we can get going, so we can get on our way, get to that point where we're heading in that direction, we're moving forward and some action is happening. Yeah. Is it possible in narc masculine to heal? Okay, so you can watch my videos on narcs and narc twin flames and everything, and that will have your answers. If you just go to my channel, I'm not going to go into it right now because that's a long conversation, but just type in like on my channel in the search bar like narc or narcissist, and those videos will pull up, and I promise you those answers are in there for you, okay? Thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining. I hope that was helpful, and I will see you guys soon. All right, take care. Bye. I always forget how to